Welcome back to Master the PLC Programming. So in this session, we're going to develop a logic to start a pump when a start push button from the field is pressed or from the HMI, and a stop a pump when stop push button pressed from the field or from the HMI or input trip input is received. So basically first we're going to list what are the signals input and output. So first one is start from the field, start push button from the field. Since it is a push button, the input is momentary type. The next one is stop push button from the field, and again start push button from the HMI and stop push button from the HMI. See, you want to start a pump from the field or from HMI and stop the pump from the field push button or from the stop from the HMI push button. There is another condition to stop the pump is when the trip is received. Trip. Okay. Now this field push buttons, since it is a push buttons, they are momentary, and from the HMI also where we can take it as pulse input or momentary, but we are going to consider the start and stop push buttons from the HMI, they are momentary. Okay, now pulse we can consider it as a continuous input. Okay, now we're going to assume the start push button are NO type and all stop buttons are NC type. So start from the field, it is NO. Start from the HMI, it is NO. Start from the stop from the field and stop from the HMI, they are NC. And we're going to assume the trip button as NO, or for simplicity just we can assume all are NO type, no confusion, because there will be a lot of confusion if you are going to consider NO and NC. Okay, now output side, just we are going to have to create one output. Okay. Now we have to create, first of all we have to create these tags in a PLC. So here, since we are going to use the emulator, we are going to use this binary bits. So start from the field, you can give the address also here, PLC address B3 0/0, that is first binary bit. Okay, and for output we can have like B310. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to first assign these tags to the respective addresses in the PLC. So start B300, B300, this is start from the field. On this one stop from the field. Next one start from the HMI. Actually we're not going to use the actual HMI, just we're going to have the considering the bits only, and stop from the HMI, and there is a trip. Okay, now we're going to use the B31 address for the pump, so we need to extend the B3 addresses. So here I just put the last address is B31, so now it is added B31. B310 is a 1. Okay, now we have assigned all the inputs and outputs. Okay, now simple, in previous lecture we have seen how we have created the start and logic to start the pump from the for the start and stop push button. Okay, so simply we can repeat that logic. That means this is now field This is the start from the field and stop from the field and the output. Okay, now in previous lecture we have seen we need to latch this output, because when the start push button is pressed, output goes high. When the start push button unpressed, when you release the start push button, at that time output goes low. So we need to have some address or some bit to hold the output. So this is called as a latching by using the output address. Okay, now this is simple logic. Just press the start push button from the field to start the pump, and the another is that if you want to stop the push button, then you have to press this. So first of all we are going to see this simple logic first. Okay, now pump is off. If I press the start push button, pump is on. If I release the start push button, pump is still on. And if I press the stop button, then pump is off. If I release the stop button, pump is off, because when I release the stop push button, this circuit is breaking. Just we'll see again. When I press the start push button, now when this push button is pressed, this is on, so pump is on. At that time we have used this address across this. Okay, if I release the start push button, now see this remains on and this also remains on. The circuit is completing in this way, so that's why pumps remains on, and it will remains on unless and until you are pressing the stop push button. Now I press the stop push button, pump is off. Now the circuit is break, because when this pressed, pump, this bit goes off. If I release the stop push button, then pump remains off. Okay, now this is simple logic. Now what we have to develop, there is another condition, that we want to start this pump from the HMI push button also, and stop from the HMI also, and stop if any trip is received. Okay, so now to start the pump there are two conditions. Start from the field, this is one condition, and start from the HMI. Okay, so how to do this? We can make, or just you can give the address of start from the HMI. Okay, so either it means this two condition, start from the field or start from the HMI. We are putting this in OR logic, or start from the field or start from the HMI. Okay, so this start conditions comes in a OR. Okay, now to stop the pump we are having three conditions. One is to stop from the field, or stop from the HMI, or if any trip is received. Okay, now see, it's very interesting. For a start there are two conditions, both are in OR logic, start from the field or start from the HMI. But for a stop there are also again three conditions, and they are in OR, stop from the field, or stop from the HMI, or stop from the trip. Now if what I have taken all this here, just to consider all are, and so like means stop from the HMI, and if any trip is received on this one. Okay, now we'll see what is happening. This is not correct logic, but for demonstration purpose I want to show you what will happen. Okay, now let us assume that we have start the pump from the field. Okay, pump is running, no issue. Now I want to stop it from the HMI. If I press the stop push button from the HMI, when I press the stop button from the HMI, circuit is still completing, because see, circuit is completing this way, and this way. Pump is still on. Okay, in that case, okay, now if I press the stop push button from the field. Oh, then why circuit is still completing? Because through this trip logic, it's completing from this and this, and it is going to pump. Okay, in that case, that means, okay, if trip is received, the trip bit is received, then pump is going to stop. That means this, when pump is stopping, when the stop button from the field is pressed and stop button from the HMI is pressed and the trip is received. Okay, so this is coming in AND, but we don't want in AND. We want to stop the push button when the we want to stop the pump when stop push button from the field is pressed, or stop from the HMI is pressed, or trip is received. So how to do this? So always remember, if you want to have the stop condition, this is a start condition, now this is a stop condition, so we have to make it this in AND logic, not the OR logic. So basically this is our start condition. So whatever things in a start condition, that we have to put it in OR. Whatever the condition required for the stop, you have to put it in the AND. Now see what will happen. Now I'm downloading the program. Okay. Now just reset first. Okay. Now no push button is pressed, pump is off. Now I am going to press the push button, start push button. Okay. Now when the start push button is pressed, this circuit is completing. And since we have used the latch, this is also completing. So I am going to release the start push button. Okay. Now what if I press the stop from the field, this one? Okay, because circuit is, this is off, that's why circuit is breaking. Okay, okay, then it's good logic. Then again I make a start from the field. Now I want to, if I press the stop button from the HMI, if I pressed, this circuit is breaking, pump is going to off. Okay, now I am going to start the pump from the HMI. Yeah, it's working because now this is on and circuit is continuing in this way. And since we use the latch, so pump is on. Now pump is on. Now let us assume that trip is received. The trip is received, then this circuit is breaking. Okay, so I hope that you understand this logic. Just remember that this is start conditions, this is stop conditions, and you have to list all the starting event or starting conditions like condition 1, 2, 3 in a OR, and for a stop you have to make it in the AND logic. So I hope you have liked this video. Thanks for watching this video.